Hey guys, welcome back. This is History of Power Rangers Season 1, Episode 55 of my show, but this is about Episode 58. Now before I start talking about it, I just want to mention, since we're on Episode 58, that means technically we got 2 more videos left after this, guys, because one more episode of the 50 segment plus 160 episode, not counting this one, so we got 2 more videos left after this, so we're almost done. I wanted to get that out of the way. And also, like I said, what I'm going to do is, first thing I'm going to do is, a week after the final video for the first season's up, I am going to start watching the first season, the second season on Netflix, and then whatever week I finish watching the second season, I'll do the second season for videos shortly after. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Anyway, now getting into it, this is History of Power Rangers Season 1, Episode 55 of my show, but this is about Episode 58. Now, Episode 58 in the original Power Rangers series is known as Football Season. But again, before I start talking about it, I also want to mention I would have uploaded this video yesterday, but I went to the theater to go see that movie Rampage, the one with the white gorilla and stuff, basically. I just wanted to get off topic. That's why I didn't upload a video yesterday, because I got back from the movie, and by the time I got back, it was kind of late after that, so I didn't upload a video yesterday because of that. Anyway, I just wanted to get off topic to explain that part. Anyway, now getting into the actual episode, like I said, this is History of Power Rangers Season 1, Episode 55 of my show, but this is about Episode 58. And Episode 58 is known as Football Season. Now, as the name of this episode states, it's gonna have to do with football, basically. What happens, basically, is the Rangers are, they see a football tryout thing, so that they decide to sign up for it, and basically, Tommy, basically, I'm guessing he wonders if he should try playing football, so he signs up as well. And then basically what happens is, after that, they get worried. He gets worried that he might not be able to, but before I continue, there's a little bit of a funny thing with Bulk and Skull. Bulk and Skull also, Skull doesn't, but Bulk does sign up for it. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning that is because there's going to be a couple of funny scenes that happen with Bulk in this episode. I'm going to explain about that later when I get to the later point of it. I just wanted to mention about that. And then, after that, like I said, Tommy is worried that he might not be good enough for football, but then Ernie assures him that maybe he can help him, and he tells him that, believe it or not, he used to be a football player himself. So he basically what, just like the previous video I did, this episode has to do with a certain character. In this case, Tommy's character. He's getting a little training with Ernie done to get prepared for football season. And then basically, what happens is, after that, Rita then overhears about then after that, basically, then it goes into a scene where Rita is on the moon, and she overhears about the football thing, and then basically, they say that they can use the game of football to their advantage, and she said they can use the game of football to their advantage, and by that she means that she can use it as a way to basically destroy the Rangers. Now, I'm going to explain a bit about the monster that they're going to be fighting in this episode. Just like in the previous, remember how I stated in previous episodes, some of the monsters that the Rangers were going to be fighting in this season would show up again in next season? Well, this episode is going to focus on another one of those. I'm just going to explain about the monster very quickly before I finish talking with about Rita's character for this specific episode. And by the way, if it seems like I'm rushing this, I completely apologize if I'm rushing this a little, because my battery on my iPad is a little low, so I have to make this a quick video. So if it seems like I'm rushing this when I talk, it's only because of the battery percentage on my iPad. That's the problem. So once I finish recording, I'll let the battery recharge, and then I might post this video maybe tomorrow or still today, depending on whether or not my battery is high enough to do so. Anyway, getting back into it, after she says about the score point thing, Squat basically mentions that doesn't she mean touchdown, and she says whatever, and then basically after that, basically what happens is, then it goes back into a scene where Tommy is with Ernie doing the training for the football. Now, here, for the football tryouts, and here's the funniest thing, remember, because Skull is also training Bulk for football tryouts, and this is funny because Bulk's wearing tutu in this episode. Now, the reason why is because of football is a sport where you need good, like, hand-eye coordination. So in a way, in a sense, what Skull is doing, even though it's very comedic and stupid, he's having Bulk wear a tutu as a form of getting used to hand-eye coordination, like movement and stuff, which is kind of funny because of that. Anyway, and then basically, then it goes to where Tommy is with Ernie, and then after a little while with tackling some practice dummies, they decide to take a break and stuff. And then the rest of the Rangers they're wondering how the training's going to get Tommy ready for football practice. And then after that, then it goes into a scene where the rest of the Rangers are in the park playing a flag football game. Like, flag football meaning that it's type of football. It's like normal football, except they got a flag attached. And anyway, I can't remember. Anyway, and then after that, basically what happens is when they go to do the flag football game, that's when the putties show up. And then the putties start attacking them while they're playing the flag football, and then they manage to defeat the putties, and then they go to contact Zordon. And again, I'm sorry if it seems like I'm rushing this, but like I said, it's a battery issue on my iPad. My battery is real low, so what I am going to do is I'm going to record this now, so I'm trying to make it as quick as I possibly can so I don't waste any more of my battery. So again, if it seems like I'm rushing this, I completely apologize. Anyway, continuing on, when the Rangers are done dealing with the putties, basically what happens is, well, actually they fight the putties a little, and then the putties manage to escape, and then basically the Rangers, Zordon contacts the Rangers on their communicators, and he tells them to teleport to the command center, and Tommy at this point also teleports with them, I guess, because if I'm remembering correctly, there's a segment in it where he's taking, like, he's doing exercises with Ernie in order to, like, to basically get prepared for football tryouts. And then basically, Zordon explains to the Rangers about the situation that they encountered in the park, and he tells them in a personal funny sense, he tells them that as they can guess by Rita's previous attack, she plans to have a football game of her own. Now I'm going to explain about the monster, I'll explain about the monster when Zordon explains about it. The football game of her own that she has played is against her buddies and their quarterback, which in this case, the monster that Rita uses as the quarterback for the Rangers to fight this time is called the Rhino Blaster monster. And then basically the stakes of it are, if her team wins, she gets to take over there. And then the Rangers can't allow that to happen, of course, so they agree to the game to take her down. And then basically what happens is after that, then the 5 of the 6, because by this point, Tommy is still practicing, so it's just the 5 of them at first, and then basically after that, the Rhino Blaster, the Rangers face the Rhino Blaster monster and the putties, and then the Rhino Blaster monster manages to defeat them. And he tells them in a joke that they've been sidelined Power Rangers hit the showers, and he uses his power to transport them to another dimension, basically. And then this is the segment of the episode where Tommy comes in, because after this, Zordon explains that, because Zordon contacts Tommy on his communicator to tell him that the situation with the Rangers is that, they're trapped in another dimension and they need his help to get them out. So Tommy morphs to his Ranger form and calls on his Dragon Zord in order to battle the Rhino Blaster monster. And then after it shows up, he and the Dragon Zord fight the Rhino Blaster a little bit. And then after that, basically what happens is Tommy basically sort of fake surrenders, because if I'm remembering correctly from this episode, they figured out that the way to get the Rangers out is if they have an anchor point using, because they need Rhino Blaster in this episode to use Smog again to get the Rangers out of the dimension they're in that they were put in by the Rhino Blaster monster. And then basically what happens is after that, after that, Tommy tries a fake surrender where he says that he guesses that he can see that the Dragon Zord and him are no match for Rhino Blaster. So if it's okay with him, he surrenders, can you just take him to his friends? And then Rhino Blaster makes an ironic little joke where he says that, well, since he's such a nice guy, and he said no. And then Tommy manages to throw the Dragon Dagger into the dimension that the Rangers are in when Rhino Blaster uses his nose to cause the vents, and then some air to come out of his nostrils. And then basically what happens is, because if I'm remembering correctly, it's not that I forgot, it's just that I skipped ahead there. So I think by this point Rita had already made the Rhino Blaster monster grow. And then basically what happens is after that, the Rangers after they get out of the dimension that they were in by the Rhino Blaster, they manage to form the Megazord, and they manage again to defeat the Rhino Blaster monster, and then basically after that Rita gets upset that she lost again. I'm guessing she gets upset that she lost again, and then basically what happens is after that then it goes into a scene where the Rangers are in the youth center with Mr. Kaplan announcing the players for the team and stuff, and then after all the players that are on one part of the list are announced, he said that's it, and then basically they get worried that Tommy's not on the list, but then Mr. Kaplan realizes that there's another segment of the list, so he says the rest of the names that are on that segment, and then basically that's where, after that, when he said, this is what I meant with the comedic ending part, when he mentions Bulk's name, Bulk still has that tutu on and stuff, and then basically what happens is, after the rest of the people that are on the list, are on the other segment of the list come out, they basically do a little chant, and that's basically where this episode stops. So if you guys like this video when I post it, just please give this video the real best you guys can, and I will see you guys probably sometime next weekend for the last two, or sometime maybe either maybe Monday or Wednesday for the next videos. So until then guys, like I always tell you with this series, may the power protect you always. And I am sorry that this video was relatively short. Like I said, again, it's mostly because of the battery on my iPad. So, again, just please give this video the real best you guys can. And I will see you guys sometime, either maybe Wednesday or Friday for the last two videos. So until then, guys, like I always tell you with this series, may the power protect you always.